What's going on, YouTube? I'm here with a deck profile with the current list that I'm running right now on Dueling Book. As you guys might know, this is probably going to change. I pretty much change was like if I go on like a losing streak because something's not working, so I pretty much spice it up a little bit and change it out, trying to get the optimal build. But if you guys like this kind of content, just hit a like and make sure to subscribe because once I reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a box giveaway. But if this video gets a lot of views and a lot of likes on it, I'm thinking about just doing a deck profile for pretty much all the decks of the format in the metagame. So if you guys like that, just let me know. But without further ado, I'm going to kind of just get to this deck profile. First things off the bat, right now I'm running a lot of hand traps. As you guys can see, I'm running 3 Ash, 3 DD Crow. A lot of decks right now in the format are graveyard dependent, so DD Crow is really good. 1 Pankratops because I'm going second, and some decks are main deck in Imperial Order, so kind of want to have some kind of out in the deck. And Pankratops has actually been testing pretty well. Allows you to put pressure on your opponent, and it can also pop a card, which is huge. Triple Effect Veiler because effect negation is also really key in this format. I was running Impermanence for a while, but I haven't been really liking how that was testing. And to kind of round out the hand traps, I have 3 Ghost Bell and 3 Nibiru. Nibiru has been insane in testing. I know strikers can't have monsters in the main monster zone, but it's really easy to kind of get Nibiru off the field. But a lot of the times it provides like extra damage on your opponent because most of the time, like Ray can kind of like take care of the problem card, and then Nibiru can hit it for 3,000, and then the next turn you can pretty much kill them. And then Ghost Bell has been performing pretty well because it stops some things getting banished from the graveyard. Against the mirror, it kind of can fight against other Kagari, so I kind of been liking the way Ghost Bell has been testing as well. It also can stop Revolt, which has been key in the Tri-Brigade matchup because you can kind of let everything else ride, and when they try to revolt you during your turn, you can just Bell that Revolt. As far as Sketchwrecker monsters are concerned, I run Triple Ray and Double Rose. I think this is pretty much standard at this point. Yeah, nothing really to say about that. Next, I have Pot of Desires. Running 3 of those. I was running the Foolish Good package, but it wasn't doing a lot for me, to be quite honest with you guys. I think it was better for me to kind of like bait out the Ash and then activate Desires and get 2 new cards. So Desires has been testing pretty well, and if you draw into a dead Desires, you can always area 0 it away. Rhoda, that should be self-explanatory. 2 area 0. I think the third one is unnecessary right now. I don't really see myself running more than 2. I'm running 2 Afterburners just in case I banish one off the Desires. And sometimes a late game Afterburner is clutch and it allows you to kind of like, get a plus with hitting a back row as well. Ego Booster, I think this should be pretty much standard in main deck in any striker deck now because you can pretty much stop Ghost Spell, stop Ash. If you have 3 spells in the graveyard and you can set it on your turn and then during their turn, you survive. So your opponent can't kill your Sky Striker Link at all. So Eagle Boost has been phenomenal. Drones, I feel that's self-explanatory. Double Shark Cannon. I was running 3 for a long time. Not going to lie to you guys. But I think 2 is just the right number right now, especially with going second. I don't want to draw into dead Shark Cannons. And this card just pretty much sets up OTKs and it sets up the access code play very, very well. Next, Triple Widow Anchor. I think that should be self-explanatory as well. I don't really have to go into details about that. Multi-roll. In previous formats, this card was like probably one of my favorite cards because it allows you to like play your striker cards more than once. But right now, I don't really use it as much. If I don't really draw it, I don't even worry about it. You pretty much win the game anyway. And of course, the card that pretty much made this deck come back into meta relevance is Engage. This card is insane. If you resolve this card twice, during a turn, it's pretty much game with, most of the time if I resolve it a second time, my opponent usually scoops. And to round out the spells, I have Terraforming for consistency and Upstart Goblin as well as consistency. And it's just like, these cards are just free spells you can play to kind of load up your graveyard with spell cards. On to the side deck, I'm running Triple Psycho Reader because of Drytron. If you resolve this, you pretty much win the game. You pretty much win the game if you resolve this card against them. Triple Cosmic Cyclone because I want some back row hate. Along with that, I'm doing Triple Twin Twister just because like Imperial Order and Anti-Spell are huge, especially against Tri-Brigade. They either main deck or even side. They're going to definitely side deck Anti-Spell against you. So having these in the main deck kind of help out with that. And then the last 6 cards are pretty much cards that I would side in matchups where I think they're going to go first. Shared Ride is one of those cards because pretty much every deck searches at least one time. So like you can at least go like a 1-for-1 with them, and then it's a spell card too, so it kind of loses your grade for next turn. And then Dimensional Ground, Different Dimension Ground. This card is good against any graveyard dependent deck if they make you go first. But a lot of times, most decks don't even do that because a lot of times they want to go first themselves to set up their board. But if they do, and you have a feeling they're going to make you go first, having this card against Praying Kids, Salamangreat, decks like that to kind of knock out their whole graveyard is really, really key. And off to the Link monsters. Zeke, Triple Shizuku, only one kinda. I think one is probably correct. I really almost never summon that. It's almost gonna be cuttable. They're like really, really niche times where I have to summon this card so I don't die, but I still like to keep it in there. Triple Kagari, which I think is standard, and then Triple Hayate. I've seen people saying to cut to Hayate to 2 maybe, but I love grinding with this deck, so the third one comes up a lot for me, but you guys can kind of pick and choose what you want to do with that. Since I run the Access Code Celine combo, I run Celine in Happy Fabrics or Needle Fiber and an Access Code Talker. Those plays are just free. Everyone runs tuners. You can just bring back one of their tuners with Shark Cannon, then link it off into Needle Fiber, Fiber into Celine. Celine bring back your Effect Veiler, and then that's just like game. And then rounding out, I have Ningirtsu, just because like it's hard for this deck to kind of out Dragoons, and this card helps you out that. But honestly, I found out today that Rose Negate Effect doesn't target, so that is interesting. That can help us out Dragoons as well. I just found out the other day, so that hasn't come up with me at all, but keep that in the back of my head. And I think that's pretty much it for the deck profile. If this video gets a lot of likes and a lot of views, I think I'm going to make one on Tri Brigade because I do have a list for this format for Tri Brigade as well, and I would love to kind of show you guys. And if you guys have any comments or any ideas how I can improve this deck list, just send in the comment section. I'll make sure to read those. But I hope you guys enjoyed that, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.